Good day to doctor. My name is Chee Kang. My train number is 2699663. Today I am going to present the problem statement. According to Red Hood et al., the trend of ordering food online is going viral among university students, especially during the current pandemic. It increased the social influence of others to use the food delivering service. Besides, according to Gajaga et al., demand for delivery service is increasing as a result of online purchasing. Hence, it brings up the rich issue of the food delivery. In addition, during pandemic COVID-19, restaurants are struggling to survive. Hence, it should take extra attention in helping to continue expanding the online food delivery market by implementing policy to avoid the restaurant closing permanently. I will pass to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
My name is Zhang and my metric number is 265349. I'm from Group 3. This study will look into the following questions in order to analyze the concerns raised in the research problem among the University of Malaya students. First is what is the demographic characteristic of University of Malaya students. The second is does the gender differences affect the intention to use food delivery service among the University of Malaysia students during the COVID-19 pandemic. The third is do the current university accommodations contribute to the students' intention in using online food delivery service. The last is do the social influence, risk perception, and solidarity with the food service sector affect the intention to use food delivery service among the University of Malaya students during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are several objectives that we should strive for the research. The specific research objectives linked to the research questions are as follows. To identify the demographic characteristic of University of Malaya students in determining the involvement of students in using online food delivery service. To analyze the gender differences affect the intention to use food delivery service among the University of Malaya students during the COVID-19 pandemic. To analyze the current university accommodation that contributes to the intention of students in using online food delivery service. To investigate the social influence, risk perception, and solidarity with the food service sector in influencing the involvement of students in using online food delivery service.
Hello everyone, my name is VIVIAN Chok. My text number is 269508. I will present about the theoretical reviews for our studies. Now I have present about the theoretical for the intention to use food delivery service. According to your ETAL, the intention to use food delivery service depends on the person who wants to buy the meal through the online platform of food delivery. Next, Renewal ETL, they also highlights that the behavior intention has a correlation with the consumer experience. When they satisfy with this food delivery service, they will use again. The last one is Kajaga ETL. They mention that due to the fact that the online service covers a huge geographical areas, the demand for food delivery service is increasing. So that's why many people use this food delivery service. Next, the theoretical for the social influence and food delivery service. According to Wickendach ETAL, they mentioned that the social influence has been shown to affect the customer's activity intention for new technologies, commodities, and service, such as food delivery service. After that, Golden ETL, they also highlight that the social interaction that generates across within the consumption party, such as partner, family, friends, and co-workers, influence ordering view online food delivery service regardless of which member of the group puts the order, but the social influence was not retained. Next, the theoretical for the risk perception and food delivery service. According to Base ETAL, they mentioned that when the buyers believe the danger of becoming infected is significant, they feel obligated to engage in self-protective action, such as using the food delivery service to minimize the perceived risks. It shows the correlation relationship between the risk perception and the food delivery service. For the last one, theoretical is solidarity to the food service sector and food delivery service. According to Hacking ETL, they mentioned that only the consumers who hold their jobs during the COVID-19 pandemic were shown to have solidarity with the restaurant industry. In short, the customer plays an important role to use food delivery service during the COVID-19 pandemic. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Good day, sir. My name is Kang, machine number 269516. I'm going to present about the empirical review of our study. The first part of empirical review is the intention to use food delivery service. According to Trend 2021, a survey shows that up to 62% of customers stated that they prefer to purchase food to eat at home during the COVID-19 pandemic compared to the pre-pandemic situation. Especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, customers were afraid of the crowd in the restaurant. Thus, the statistics show that the intention to order food online grew about 10% to 30% compared to the pre-pandemic year. And the next part is the social influence. According to Lim San Lun ETAL 2021, the most important factor in determining technological acceptability in food delivery application was the social influence. In this study, social influence was confirmed as a crucial factor of a customer propensity to use an online food delivery service. However, according to Rusley ETAL 2020, there are also studies that prove that social influence has no impact on behavioral intention. Based on this study, the students at this private institution feel that social influence is not an important influence on their intention to order food online. While the third part is the risk perceptions. According to Janeta ETAL 2021, consumers with a high desire to continue using food delivery service could have lowered their perceived risk of COVID-19. People who have a high intention to use a food delivery service will think that their action is a low-risk perception activity. Hence, their risk perception is low but intention to use food delivery service during the COVID-19 pandemic is high. But according to Shaw ETAL 2019, consumers will not continue to use online service when they perceive those risks are high. This indicated that consumers will think that online food delivery service is not safe to use, especially they have to interact with the delivery person. And the last part for the empirical review is the solidarity with the food sector. A study by Hakim ETAL 2021 found that only consumers who held their job during the COVID-19 pandemic were shown to have solidarity with the restaurant industry. The role of solidarity has already been positively found influencing customer desire to visit seated restaurants during the pandemic. Solidarity emerges primarily when different people perceive the same identity. When there is no way to travel to a restaurant or there is a fear of reopening this establishment due to the lockdown, the demonstration of solidarity can take the form of searching for the safer alternative to use food service such as food delivery. That's all from me. Thank you.
There are hypothesis statements of the study. H1, there is a significant relationship between gender and the intention of using food delivery service. H2, there is a significant relationship between current university accommodation and the intention of using food delivery service. H3, there is a significant relationship between social influence, risk perception, solidarity with the food services sector, and the intention of using food delivery service. To synthesize, the total population of undergraduate students who stay at UM campus in this study is 9,319. According to that Morgan table, 317 respondents would make up the sample size for a total population of 9,319.
Good day everyone, my name is Chen Moon and metric number 269525. Now I'm going to present the chapter 4, data analysis. The first part in chapter 4 is description analysis. The demography of this study includes gender, age, ethnics, current semester, current university accommodations, the average value of orders via food delivery service, frequency of using food delivery service, most frequent meals using food delivery service, and the company that respondents prefer to use. Based on the data we collected, we know that the data for females get a higher number than males in the gender. Next, there are 3 groups of age for the respondents. The majority of respondents are aged between 21 and 22, as much as 176 respondents. For the ethnic groups of respondents, the majority of the respondents are Chinese, which reach 41.1%. Besides, the current semester is assigned to 7 groups and the highest respondents are from semester 1 and 3, as much as 87 respondents for the both semesters. However, there are 12 accommodations in UM and the majority of respondents are come from KK12, which is 14.9%. For the average value of orders via food delivery service, there are many variables. As the data collected, the highest average value is 20 ringgit and the second highest is 25 ringgit, which is 62 and 51 respondents respectively. Next, the frequency of using food delivery service has 5 variables. 139 out of 370 respondents are using the food delivery service once or twice a week. On the other hand, the majority of respondents for the most frequent meals using the food delivery service are for their lunch. It reached 149 respondents. Lastly, the respondents more prefer to use the Grab Food than Food Panda as well as Shopee Food. After that is an independent sample t-test. It will be performed to test the hypothesis H1, in which there is a significant difference of intention to use the online food delivery service between genders. Based on the table shown here, the main respondents for females are higher than the males. The assumptions on equivariance is assumed as indicated in Levin's test. The p-value 0.707 is higher than the significance level, which is 0.05. However, the result shows no significant difference of intention to use the online food delivery service between the gender, in which the p-value is 0.588, higher than the significance level 0.05. Hence, H1 is rejected. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good morning, doctor and everyone. I'm Chong and Chee, matrix number 271880. Now, I would like to continue with the other data analysis that was conducted in our research. So next is the ANOVA analysis. This analysis was conducted to examine our second hypothesis if there is a significant relationship between the current university accommodations and the intention of using food delivery services. So based on the result on our left here, we can see that the p-value is equal to 0.361, which is higher than our significance level at 5%. So we can conclude that our second hypothesis is rejected, and the current university accommodation do not significantly affect the intention of using food delivery services among the UM undergraduate students who stay on campus during COVID-19 pandemic. One of the possible reasons is because the behavior of the consumer itself influences them to use food delivery service, but not the accommodation they are staying on. So next is the Pearson correlation analysis. This analysis was conducted to examine our third hypothesis if there is a significant relationship between the social influence, risk perception, and solidarity with the food services sector and intention of using food delivery service. So based on the result on our left here, we can see that there are 4 sections. Section DV is actually our dependent variables, which is the intention of using food delivery services. Section B, C, D are the independent variables, where section B is the social influence, section C, risk perception, section D, solidarity with the food services sector. So we can see that the value that's circled in red is actually the R value for each of the independent variables, and the one circled in green is the P value for all the independent variables. We can see that all the independent variables recorded a higher P value than the significance level at 5%. Hence, we can conclude that our third hypothesis is rejected, and there is a neutral correlation between all the independent variables with our dependent variables, which is the intention of using food delivery services. We also can conclude that all the independent variables do not significantly affect the intention of using food delivery services among the UM undergrad students who stay on campus. Thus, there may be other factors that may affect the intention to use food delivery services, but they are not considered in our research. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Back to me, now I'm going to present the policy implication. First, both food delivery apps, companies and restaurants need to do the promotion to increase the customer satisfaction. The reason behind it is because customer satisfaction generates positive word of mouth and eventually increase the social influence to use the food delivery service. Second, the intention of the government to promote employees and consumer safety are vital. For example, public policy on food safety must clearly define. Practices such as employee health, cleaning and sanitizing of the delivery staff and protective equipment such as face masks and gloves is required for the food delivery employees. Besides, education to increase the risk perception of the consumer is also important. For example, encourage contactless payment, checking the delivery employee is using a mask or not during the food delivery. Next, FDA company can shorten the time it takes to order the food at restaurant to prepare earlier to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the food delivery service. Restaurants can also analyze the behavior of the consumer to change their strategy to attract more consumers. Government also can offer a tax cut or subsidy to restaurants, and this method can avoid the restaurant closing permanently. That's all for me. Thank you.